turn it up.
Get ready.
You're tuned in to VO Buzz Weekly.
The show where aspiring voice actors,
Established VO pros,
and curious fans alike get to meet and learn.
from the mega successful talent in voiceover, hear their personal stories, find out how they became so successful.
Learn their secrets and join them at the top.
Come on and get buzzed with us. We know that you have a dream. Go be all you wanna be. So come on and get buzzed with us.
And now, prepare to get seriously buzzed with your hosts, Chuck Duran and Stacey J. Aswad.
Hey everybody, I'm Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
Here we go with a brand new episode of VO Buzz Weekly. We're glad you're with us.
We are glad you're with us. And today on the show we have Roger Rose, CBS voice of Big Bang Theory, Two Broke Girls, Odd Couple, and tons of other stuff.
Yeah.
Man, anybody out there that loves promos and stuff, you guys are going to learn a whole bunch today. And Roger is really, really super cool, so you're going to dig it.
Yes, he is. But first, we have another giveaway.
Let's do another giveaway.
So Aaron Fitzgerald, who you know from the show, one of our dear friends, has written a book called 10 Things Any Voice Actor Would Tell You If They Were Me. It's an incredible ebook. Aaron's been asked over the years about how to get started in voiceover. So this book is really giving you incredible advice, tips about business, making demos, anything you need to know, whether especially you're starting out, or if you're in the business, it's great information. You know, you might need to tweak things a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
So the ebook is $37. And there's an incredible audiobook that's $67. And that audiobook, check this out, is the jam. It has over 6 hours of bonus interviews with Aaron talking to people like Chuck Duran and Jennifer Hale and Phil Lamar and Kari
Stacey J.
Walgren
Aswad.
and me. It's such an honor to be a part of that. So Erin is going to have the ebook and the audiobook on her website. There's the link, you can get it. And we're going to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
She's giving away 2 ebooks and 1 of the audiobooks, and this is how you're going to do it. You're going to go to our YouTube channel.
Yes,
VO
YouTube
Buzz
channel.
Weekly,
You can't
and
just go to anybody else's YouTube channel. That has to be ours.
You're going to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Then you're going to watch Aaron's episodes 163 and 164. Okay? You're going to like them, comment on each one, and then we're going to randomly select the winners from those 2 different episodes.
Absolutely.
We'll notify you through YouTube of the email you need to redeem your incredible winnings.
So pay attention, because if you miss out, somebody else is going to win.
Yeah, so jump on it this week, because we're not going to let this go on forever. So you need this, and if you don't win, still get it, because it's really incredible.
Absolutely.
So way to go, Aaron.
Yeah.
Here we go with...
I say we go talk to Roger Rose.
All right. Well,
Yes.
I will preface this by saying,
Yes.
who knows what's going to happen
I
today.
don't. Oh,
but
they all say that.
our amazing guest is a former VH1 VJ, who
No
you
way.
now hear all over
Rosie O'Donnell's here?
I know, yes.
That's so exciting.
Who you hear all over
More of a man than I could ever hope to be.
network promos like
Yes.
The Big Bang Theory,
The Big Bang Theory.
The Odd Couple,
The Odd Couple.
and Two Broke Girls.
What about NCIS?
You know what you've also
NCIS.
done?
What?
You've also live announced things like the Emmys that were hosted by the
Emmys.
amazing Jane
The
Lynch.
Grammys.
The Grammys.
The People's Choice Awards. Lady!
Well, we're going to be...
you know what?
We're going to be putting Roger on the line.
We're getting
here.
buzzed with our super fun and oh so talented pal, Roger Rose. Hi, Roger.
Say hi to everybody.
is there music
Roger.
going da-da-da-da,
Wave at this camera.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah, wave at this camera here. Those are the people out there in all
Is
the
there
world.
music playing?
They kind of like you.
In your mind.
There might be.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Wave at
Do you know
them.
they have a camera guy here named Pez?
Yep.
You lift his head up.
Our camera guy Pez, you lift his head up and he spits at you.
Yeah.
And it's not candy.
Roger.
Can I just say how attracted
Hi.
I am to,
To
Chuck.
Pez?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
no, it's
Hey, let's talk.
Hi, Roger.
Hi,
Roger.
darling. They're laughing. It's not that funny.
And the funny thing is that you also do on-camera work.
Yeah, me?
Despite your current behavior.
That's true. You've all seen some of my really bad movies.
Yeah.
Ooh, and there are a lot of them. I've done like 12, 13 movies, and they're all... Well, no, there's one good
There's
one.
one
Well,
good
whenever
one.
I
We're
see
going to talk
you,
about that.
No, whenever I see Roger at commercial auditions, he always has like a suit. He's always going in for like a politician or an insurance salesman. You always look very like put together with the three-piece thing. And
thank you, but you know what? The problem is that at my advanced age, they always bring me in for the funny guy. It's always the bald fat guy, and so I go in there, and I've actually complained to my agents now because it's like. They're never going to take me.
Yeah.
You got to eat more.
I guess I got to
shave your head.
Well, wait, can you see the tape?
No, you can't even
it's
see
good.
it.
You got good glue today.
People think I dye my hair, which is my pubes, but I don't dye.
And you don't?
No, Pez, let it go.
Pez, stop it over there.
Nobody cares because that's behind the camera. And by the way, behind the camera.
You know we're rolling.
You think this looks like a boudoir? On the other side is a big old fur bed. Cesar Romero's in the back there going, "Ooh, I'm the Joker."
It's the extra features.
Yes. But they said I'm pissed because I can't. And I'm not making this up. I went in an audition and it was all black guys, all fat, bald black guys, and I'm going, "What am I doing here?"
You know what? They called you in though.
I think somebody's trying to tell you something.
They wanted to give options.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because maybe you don't really look the way you think you look.
Right.
It could happen.
That is
You're
good.
in your booth a lot.
That is good. I never thought of
You
that.
don't look in the mirror.
I look like a bald, fat black man.
I say we get into, we start the show now.
What?
And we
Is
ask
there a
Roger
music
some
theme?
questions.
Who's the band leader?
It's happened.
Theme just ended. Okay.
By the way,
hey,
I had
Roger.
dinner with Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
Speaking of band leaders.
Name dropper.
The nicest, pick that up. Nice man at a Grammy thing.
Yeah.
Deaf as a whatever.
Really?
You're sitting there and he's sitting like right here and he's with his daughter.
Yeah.
And he's really nice. And so you go, "Yeah, I really like that episode you did the thing." And he's like ignoring you and you're like, "Whoa." And then you're saying something else and then finally his daughter says, "He can't hear a word you're saying."
But he just goes,
yeah, he's like, "Hey."
yeah.
And he's got real hairy ears.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
you said I
maybe-
can't say certain things.
Maybe that's part of the problem with. We'll have him on the show. We'll ask him.
He's a very nice man, but it just, I guess all those years of Dan and
Yeah.
Ooh, you want to hear?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm just going. But you want to hear some really good dirt?
Yes.
And I am all right about
Come
this.
on, share
you
it
said
with
this
the
is
world.
good dirt. I never
Chuck
get to tell
likes
any of this
the
stuff.
TMZ
Now, make
stuff.
sure you don't say anything that's going to get you in trouble because
Yeah.
you're out there in the world right now.
I think this might get me in trouble, but you know what? I'm okay with it because I am offended by this.
You don't want to work anymore?
No, I do want to work.
You don't get enough money.
If this is to do with my, a guy who's retired, is that going to get me in trouble?
No.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about here?
Right.
Who are you talking about?
David Letterman.
Oh.
Will I get myself in trouble if
No. David's a good friend. He likes us. He won't.
Yeah,
He won't press charges.
He doesn't.
No, but I mean, because maybe it wasn't him. All right, so I do have to drop a name on this one.
Okay.
Can I drop it?
Sure.
Okay.
Besides David Letterman, yeah.
Somebody who told me, and you actually saw this, that I am first on her list if she ever goes back to being heterosexual, Jane Lynch.
Yes, I saw that.
She and I go back, we're Chicago types and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm in New York and she's on Letterman. Right, this is about 6 years ago. The height of her glee and everything like that. Should I be telling this, or do I not want to tell this?
I like this. This is good. I'm already entertained.
So we go up, and first of all, they will not. If you're, to his credit, he hated anybody who was a goon. So Letterman did. If you were a guest or anything like that, you were in the dressing room. You didn't get to be in the audience. None of that stuff, which is fine. So I'm in her dressing room, and I'm with my daughter, and we're like, we're all excited, and with Jane, and she goes on the show.
And stuff like
Right.
that.
No, we're in a little
Freebies.
weenie dressing room up in the
okay.
Sullivan Theater. So the show's over, and so they have segment producers for talk shows. Most of them. Anyway,
We're
Pez.
outside the box,
Yeah,
Roger.
right. Yeah, just go back on the waterbed that's behind the camera here. Anyway, so the producer goes, I'm really sorry to do this, but I need you to stay here with me and go down the stairs with us to the basement. And so Jane, who's the nicest lady of all, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
She goes, I actually have to catch a plane. Hey, honey, I have to catch a plane. And I don't know why I make her sound like that, but anyway.
It's a good imitation.
Thanks. So the producer goes, no, we really need you to come to the basement. So now we, being the maroons we are, we're thinking, Dave wants to meet with us secretly because he doesn't really. And we're going to get to meet Dave secretly in the basement. This is going to be really cool. There's some show business thing. So the person's going, okay, let's go. And we're thinking, this is so cool. Come on, we have to hurry. We have to hurry. They take us downstairs. We're in the basement. They throw the door open. They throw us in there, and it's like a water heater, and it's closed and it's dark and it's creepy. And the producer does this and goes, I'm so embarrassed, but Dave is walking down the stairs, and no one is allowed to be on the stairway. And Jane goes,
my.
yeah, right, sure. You know, because you hear these stories, right?
Yeah.
And Jane goes, ha, ha, ha. And the person goes, no, no one is allowed to be in the stairway. And I, being the weenie I am, and Jane always says, oh, Roger, you always defend me. I go, she is a guest in your house. How dare you? And Jane goes, no. And I'm like, this, you know, and then through the little window, you see Dave walking by with his person, and they leave.
Is he like claustrophobic? He doesn't want to be crowded.
He doesn't
on
want
the
to be.
stairs?
Apparently, he doesn't want to be bugged.
He doesn't like the walk and chat.
I guess, but still, she just walked off the set. So that always bugged me, and she always says, "Stop defending me, Roger." But
so you've now become an advocate for guests on talk shows everywhere?
Well,
is that why you made such a scene when you came
here?
here?
New business.
By the way, don't look at me while we're talking.
After promos, that's your career right there.
And also, I have to say, I'm a huge fan of Dave. I was like one of my heroes, but I just found that to be offensive.
Now we're getting to the questions.
Okay.
It's about Chuck
This is just
right
off the top of your head?
Yeah, you come from a family
This is about Chuck right now.
Of radio and TV personalities.
That's I do, Chuck.
And so did you always know that that's the way that you were going to follow? Or?
Yes, you know, Chuck, we would get dinner, we go, what's for dinner, Mom? She go, why, it's Creamettes, the wonderful macaroni. That's why I feel like it's Chuck's thing, because you do have that disc jockey kind of read. My mother was on NPR in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
My dad was one of the original conservative talk show hosts here in the Los Angeles Metroplex. My parents were divorced when I was 6 months old, so it was something I pooped, I think. My brother was a TV reporter. My sister doesn't have anything to do with the business, but she's a teacher. So the whole family, La Familia, which is the Cuban thing for him, is, you know, all broadcasters. Yeah. So everybody had that voice. And everyone thought, because mostly with the journalists, because my mom did All Things Considered and World Affair things and stuff. So everyone thought we were talking politics, and no, we were booga most of the time. Yeah. Good. Ooh, quick! Can I tell a quick one? I don't get to tell any of these things.
Why not?
Sorry. Do you want to do the interview?
Yeah.
No, my brother was. All right. No, my brother passed away a few years back, but he was a reporter on Primetime Live and Dateline. Judd Rose. Yes.
Yeah.
That's his name. For all these years, I couldn't remember. Anyway, do you remember when Peter Jennings was anchorman and everything?
Yes.
This is a good one. So I was on VH1, and my brother was doing Nightline and all these other shows. So my brother and I were very close, and we were very silly. So he came on my VH1 show, and it's done sort of like this kind of thing where you tape it, and then later on you cut out all the good stuff and just put this crap on. Anyway, so but you did it live on tape at MTV.
Yeah.
And so my brother thought of me as his little brother. He didn't pay any attention to me. And so he comes on and he starts making jokes about how Peter Jennings doesn't wear pants under the desk. And I'm doing this. Because it's my brother's job.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like...
and he's making very interesting innuendos, because he was way worse than me. And I literally had to go stop tape, which at MTV Networks you don't do. It's like, no way. You know, it's like the
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, what are you doing? And I go, dude, it's, you know, you're my brother.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the president of the network the next day, and they said, how could you do this? And I said, because it's my family, and they all were cool about it.
La Familia.
La Familia.
Anything for La Familia.
You gotta protect the family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool, man.
That's right.
Hey, I gotta ask you something, because
Please do, but remember,
first of all,
you only have 15 minutes to get to work.
Look,
I'm sorry.
You do these really, really cool promos, and I love the shows, all the shows that you're on. I'm like, hey, there's Roger.
Thanks,
we
buddy.
both do.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, because I know that a bunch of them probably want to know, but your promo style on these shows, a lot of them are very like natural, conversational kind of thing. Is that something that you had to work on, or does that just come natural to you?
Because each one has a little different tone.
Everyone has a different tone, and I'll give you the best example is The Big Bang Theory. First of all, me doing network promos is a dream of a lifetime.
Of course.
And I've been very lucky. Knock on Formica, whatever
There's
that
wood
is.
underneath this.
There's wood right here, baby. Cut
that out!
No, don't. I star in movies or whatever else, and TV shows, whatever, but promos were always a thing that I just always dreamt of doing. So believe it, I know people are thinking, what? Yeah. But it's true. It was something so exciting to me, and I always knew as a kid the different promo guys and stuff. So it was always, so when I go to CBS and the script says CBS, and the producers are like, and I'm like, oh boy, CBS, and they're like, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, right, it's the truth. It's to me, it's the thrill.
Yeah.
But the best example is The Big Bang Theory, which is the #1 comedy on television.
It
has
sure
been for quite
is.
some time.
And they want a very specific read. They don't want, and it's a little pukey, but it's super high. The Big Bang Theory, and they want it way up there and way like this.
Yeah.
And it's far and away the #1 show. And I've actually been lucky enough to meet the producers, and they've all said, just do that, cut it through. And I'm thinking, whatever.
It's like you're one of Sheldon's boys.
It's unbelievable. No, but one day an NBC guy was hired who had just come off the NBC comedies and stuff. He goes, "We're going to change all this." He's saying to me, he goes, "We're going to make this really cool and very simple and like The Big Bang Theory, very hip and very." Yeah. And I'm going, well, he's my boss. You got to do what they tell you to do. And I go, but I just think they have a specific read, and the show's #1, and I don't think you really want to do that. Yeah. No, man, we're doing it this way. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, I'm out of a gig. Because as your friends have all told you on here, and as you guys know, you're out. Yeah. There's next guys in line.
Yeah. It's here today, gone tomorrow.
And I don't care what gig you have. It's, and in the voiceover world, and other stuff too, but in voiceover. And I thought, I'm out, because they're going to hear The Big Bang Theory, and I'm done. The next day they called me back to do another spot, and I'm thinking, okay, he was gone. And they're going, remember, The Big Bang Theory. I'm like, okay, and they canned his butt.
Yeah.
So it's always...
So when you auditioned...
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Before we get to
we're
the
not
audition
done.
thing, because you mentioned to me earlier that you had to go to therapy to do one of these voices.
Well, because you have two broke
because
girls.
Because they were making you do something that you had to go to school for.
Right,
What was that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Also, that's another thing for you voiceover people. As you know, again, pardon me for saying as you know, because they know, but voiceover is not what everyone thinks it is, standing behind the microphone until you know what you're doing. And then it's totally standing by the microphone going whatever. Yeah. But you have to have the training. And I, again, was lucky enough to do Two Broke Girls, where I had to do all the syndication thingy. Yeah. And it's a party. And unlike a guy like Billy West, who has the chords of death. This man, you can knock the bejesus out of it, and he
doesn't fall down.
Because we worked, we worked together on a lot of stuff, and you just sit there going, how do you do it? Yeah. So I literally had to go to a speech therapist to hit musical notes, because I would do 2 straight hours of, Two Broke Girls, and then The Big Bang Theory's here, but Two Broke Girls was here, but it was like the girls are having a party. Again, it was they wanted. Yeah. But here's a really cool story about that, a voiceover story.
Yeah. Here we go, another story. Oh boy, let me take my fan out.
The syndicators said, we don't want the CBS read. We don't want anyone who does CBS.
Right.
It's a CBS show. Yeah. We don't want anybody. My wonderful agent, let me kiss up there. I said, and this was just last year. Yeah. I said, put me under a fake name. I'm telling you I can book this. Because they said, we do not want CBS people. Anybody who does CBS, we don't want them. Because everybody wants to be the different one, the hipper one, whatever. Yeah. I said, put me under a fake name. And that's pretty risky.
It is.
I booked it fair and square.
Wow.
But the best part was last year, they had a big launch party.
Do they know this?
Yes, they do, because they had a big launch party.
I was trying to think that you're still not that guy sometimes.
Warner Brothers.
What was that fake name you said?
Launch party for Two Broke Girls going into syndication. So Chris Green, who's the head of this thing, said, okay, my fake name, he goes, so we need you to show up because we need you to announce this thing. That's so, oh no.
You're like, oh no, my cover's blown.
So he said, come meet me at the thing and everything like that. And my fake name was Abbott. My last name was Abbott. Hey, Abbott. So I go, hi, and he goes, hello, Roger Abbott. And I go, hello. He goes, I picked you fair and square, man. But he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was all the higher-ups going, no. Because, again, this is what we have to fight.
Yeah.
You never can, we don't want that guy. Yeah. So then you have to pretend you're somebody else.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to back it up. If you can't back it up,
absolutely.
Am I just going too far with that?
No, not at all, man. This is good. So was there a voice that you had to go in to actually train to be able to do?
Yes, I had to. I actually had to go see this guy, and who's a guy named Stephen Memel, who's amazing. He teaches singers. Okay. And he taught me. Right before I would go in, I'd have to do like certain exercise, but to get to this note. Then I'd have to say the read to myself, and of course you can't tell them that you don't have the. So then it would be like, I do the read for like an hour, and then I go, I gotta go to the bathroom. Then I walk out and I go, ha, whoo, and all the whatever the stuff is he gave me. And two broke, and I would have to like listen to it through my two broke, you know. And then
was it because you get just the melody in there, or
it was all the melody,
and
but
the
it had to be
and the right pitch,
right? Because they would say again, again, and it was brutal.
Yeah,
but it was great, you know.
So you would have to kind of go and regroup.
You do, and for certain promos, you know, the dramas and NCIS, it's all acting. It's all.
And you had Ugly Betty. I
did that, and I'm doing, you know, some cable networks, and what's really fun is there's a cable network, Access HDNet, and they throw every old movie in the world, and you have to. And what's great is they're cool guys, and they just say, come up with something, and that's when you know you're. Don't hit my mic. That's when you know that all the hard work has come together. When when the producer just goes, I don't know, do something, and then you go, how about this or how about that?
And
you
like that.
Yeah, they go, that.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that thing. You know, and that is, but voice-wise, and I am forever. I don't have the chords of death, and I have to always do warm-ups and things. Not right before the gig. Usually just at night, and it tightens up.
Listen, that's good to do anyways. I mean, even if you
got to take care of your instrument.
But let me ask you. So every time
I lost my voice during Price is Right. That's something no one knows about. No one knows that.
No, I don't even know if anybody cares about that.
Okay.
I'm totally kidding. No, I want to hear about that, but not just yet. We're still in promo land.
This is the heartstring story.
Look, he's going to cry. Look, he's looking at the camera going like,
this is the heartstring moment.
Nobody cares about me right now? During your
Do you have Richard Horvitz on yet?
Yes. During your different
Thanks
promo
for watching the
sessions,
show.
He's insane.
Oh my, the ding!
So, depending on the promos that you're doing on different shows and stuff like that,
I'm crying.
What are some of the different directions that they try to take you in? Like, what kind of verbiage do they use? For example, like when you started doing Big Bang, like, say, okay, hey Roger, can you do it? Give me a little bit more of this or more of that or blah blah.
Right. Well, it's like any other voiceover job where if you don't have it, you're out. And the producers are so scared I'm just being blunt. They're so scared that it's like they sort of tell you what they want, but if you don't give, and I'm real lucky that I started at CBS with How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother. And that was, again, another example, and this is back to just career. My former agents, I can't swear, right?
No, but you can say their names.
My former agent, my former agents say they won't effing take you. And I said, well, but I met this guy at CBS, and I think he would. This is when they were auditioning for How I Met Your Mother. And there's a great long story, which I won't, because it's knocking somebody who's actually nice, who they replaced. And How I Met Your Mother was just starting. And the CBS comedy lineup was just changing and all that kind of junk. I did other networks, NBC and ABC and all that, but this was, you know, where my home. So my agent said they're not going to effing take you. So I auditioned at the agency, and then I went, what am I doing? This is my dream. This is what I've always dreamt of. Why am I sitting around waiting on them? And my former agent. So I called up my friend who happened to be, Chucky's a little Cuban. This guy's Latin, and he goes, well, Roger, okay, man, why don't you just send me your audition directly? I go, well, no, I have to do it through my agent. He goes, dude, just give me your audition directly. So I sent it to him. By the way, he actually talks like this. I sent it to him thinking, okay, he brings it to head of comedy. The head of comedy hears me. I happen to have been in Disney World on vacation, which is not, and it's like 8 million degrees. It was the middle of the summer. And they said they want a final callback. So I hired a studio, because you can't tell them. This is back to you can't tell anybody, especially promos. Promos is in, out, let's go. They don't want to know. They don't want to know your life. They want you have 5 minutes in, out, and which is like my sex life, and 4.5 minutes of that is apology. So I had to really walk to that one. Poor Paz.
Back to you.
I hope your wife is watching this right now.
Oh, please. She goes, yeah, right. Okay, anyway, so I had to get a cab to this studio in the middle of nowhere in Orlando, because it was an ISDN. They don't know that I'm not doing this from home or whatever it is. And it's my big shot at audition, and it was How I Met Your Mother. And the thinking was, they said, just be a real guy. But see, this is what you're asking.
Absolutely.
It took me an hour to get to this point.
We landed the plane. Good for you.
And it was like, okay, this is acting, but don't sit there and go, How I Met Your Mother. I had to go, all right, this is a guy having like, you know, like, wow, this is really cool, and give it a little crack in the thing, and so it was, but it was also the title.
Yeah.
Most promo guys will go, How I Met Your Mother, or How I Met Your Mother, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I'm saying to you, How I Met Your Mother, like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I did that, and that's what got me the gig.
Wow.
And that was the
That's
start of it.
fantastic. So let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the former agent who said they're not going to look at you, did they say I'm sorry, or did they
An agent?
did they say anything like?
Actually, at that time, they told me that I had just did Ugly Betty, which I auditioned for, and they told me they weren't going to effing take me because they want this kind of guy. Promo now, there's still, you know, there's the great Don LaFontaine, who I used to call Obi-Wan LaFontaine.
Yeah.
And he'd go, hello, my son. That is almost non-existent, that kind of read. There is still people who have that big booming voice.
Well, yeah, you know, ABC, How to Get Away with Murder,
Exactly.
all those big
Exactly.
shows. Yeah,
NBC
you
has
have
the
that.
big-
But they're calling that, and this is not, because those guys make way more money than I do because they have that voice.
Yeah.
But they call that the voice of death, and that they're with dramas now. They're trying to get away from that a little bit, and that's the thing is that my agent said, "Oh, they're never ever going to take you." When this all happened, I ended up getting a promo, and I had done no promos on ABC, CBS, and NBC. I did NBC Radio for Heroes. You know, Heroes, there's a thing going. Then I did Ugly Betty, which was Ugly Betty. And I'm doing How I Met Your Mother, completely 3 different levels of reads. And my agent told me they weren't going to take me on any of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Former.
The takeaway
Although I like them, actually. I like those people.
But you know what? The takeaway...
Hey, they got a lot of stuff done for you.
I owe them so much. You can never forget that.
Exactly.
And I'm not knocking them. They didn't see it.
Yeah,
and
they
I
didn't see
had
it.
to
Well,
see
but that's the thing. And a lot of people will sometimes have one person say, you know, you really aren't right for this, or you shouldn't do that, or you're not bookable in that. But the bottom line is, if it's your dream, if it's your passion, you cannot be...
But I was a pain in the ass. I'm not going to deny that, and that's what they would say.
Well, it's part of your charm. We all know you're...
Thank you. Well, I am wearing women's underwear right now. No, but the thing is, I was a pain in the ass, but in the right way, because I could back it up.
Exactly.
And if you could back it up...
Exactly.
But I also have learned, I've been humbled a couple times where I was, you know, you throw 5 balls in the air and a couple land right. Don't even do it. Right in your face.
Yeah.
And so I apologize for, you know, pushing it sometimes, but honestly, I booked it. If you don't book it, then then you're, because there's some people who just think, as you guys deal with, who think they're entitled, and you know, it's all relationships.
So real quickly, so we know that the former agent said, man, they're never going to hire you for this, and that's because, and I'm assuming this, or I'm probably right, that's because they were going by the trends that they knew and what was happening.
That's right.
But we were right in the brinks of changing trends in the whole promo world, and now everybody knows about it. And you were right at the brink of that. And I have to say, you probably were lucky because you were the right guy at the right time at the right place. Not to mention that you could back it up, but you've actually seen things go from the voice of God to the voice of death to you now being the voice that's in style. So is there anything that you do in your own time to stay on top of any trends that are going on?
Well, I don't want to kiss up to this guy, but I don't mind you being. May I compliment my former agent, because it was really him. He was like a Marine sergeant, and he. No, I'm not going to do that joke. Anyway, but I stopped myself. Oh, did I stop myself?
Marine sergeant.
But
You're growing
Marines.
up.
All right. Anyway, so you don't need to cut that.
You're growing up, Roger.
He said, "Listen to TV, listen to the radio, listen to the trends, listen to who is being hired." And he always said that, and he was 100% and is 100% correct. And
you still
based
do that.
on what you just said, at that time I was doing all these cartoons, and I was doing the crazy voice and the silly guy and all these, you know. So they thought the only voice I could do as a promo guy was this guy. Because, and this is where I feel very lucky in the voiceover world as opposed to a lot of other ones. My background, even though I grew up in voiceover, my mom was a voiceover person from day one, was acting and performing and improv. My background's Groundling, Second City, all that kind of stuff. So all these other voiceover people are frustrated, as I mentioned to you about, you know, the one thing they saw, which again, please keep it. Their background is trying to be this guy. That wasn't my background. My background was performing. So I knew coming into voiceover, I could be the funny cartoon guy, but I could also be the dramatic voiceover guy. And one of my very first jobs, this was 1912, and I won't even go into the story, but some of these crazy actors you saw
1912?
It was before Marconi was there.
I thought you were way younger than that.
I was 18 and I did this soap opera, this radio soap opera, and I was on first hit LA, and it was all the guys who were in, who's Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs. You know, the guy who talks like Lawrence Tierney.
Oh, yeah.
It was Lawrence Tierney. It was this guy, all these old Hollywood drunks, and they paid me like $20, and it was this thing up on Sunset, and I'm like 18, so I'm playing the kid, and all these famous guys, but old and drunk but that was my very first voiceover job, where I'm sitting there going, doing a drama. Yeah. And, while these guys are going all over me, And then Lawrence Tierney, again, stories I've never told anybody. If you remember him from Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, of
great
course.
old-time,
Amazing
famous
movie,
Hollywood drunk.
Yeah.
We went across the street to the Hollywood Billiards Club, and he punches out a guy. I'm like 18, and this guy goes,
Welcome to
"Hey
Hollywood."
man, this is my table." He goes, "Your table?" And he sucker punches him and goes, bam, and the guy goes, boom, down. And this guy, Lawrence Tierney's like 70, and I'm like, wow, cool.
Nice,
terrible,
nice. And you've used that when you went to table, right?
I usually would girls sucker punch me.
Yeah.
And,
So-
this is my
so
table.
Roger-
My table, girl, son of a.
We know you have your awesome steady gigs, but obviously you still audition, yes?
Every minute of the day and night.
So you get, because you also do amazing commercial work, you get commercial copy or promo copy. How do you approach it? You record from home mostly?
Now, the business has
Right.
changed. Actually, Carol of Carol Casting, she said, when you audition for a commercial, there's a cue card up there, and it's like if I'm looking at the camera right now, and so you do whatever commercial copy, like, "Hey everybody, this is Chucky, and remember when you try Prego sauce, so there's this card with the dialogue right there. She said, read your voiceover copy like you're reading a on-camera commercial, because you shouldn't stick your face and be in the copy. You should actually be off the copy, because it'll give you a little bit more emotion." Great piece of advice.
So do you actually memorize?
totally disagree with that?
Do you
You do
memorize?
this?
No.
Well, no, because
no, this means
hang
I
on,
can't
I have a-
believe you're telling
I have
us
a
such
follow-up.
great,
I have a follow-up question.
That's
Yes.
all it is.
So you
This is
also
great. What?
do on-camera commercials,
Yeah.
but do you memorize your voiceover copy?
Promo, it's funny, commercially, not as much promo. I will go off book.
Yeah.
Or as Tress McNeil says, bullshit, bullshit, my line, bullshit, bullshit. That.
Yeah.
But see, I give credit to everybody who has the joke.
But you actually
That's my
memorize your
stand-up
promo copy.
I memorize the key lines that are where I have to give more emotion, and I want to make sure I'm off the page. Also, sometimes I'm seeing the
Reading the
screen. You've seen the
picture,
screen.
yeah.
So again, by the way, promo-wise, invaluable training is I did. When I started, I did all these. I was the death voice for movies. It was me and Pat Music. If you know Pat Music, has she been on?
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's keep it that way. Pat's daughter is. Pat is.
She'll dispute this story.
What's her face from Parenthood? Who I did Johnny Bravo with. She's in The Duff. Really, I can't think. She's the sweetest woman of all time.
Buffy the Vampire
She's an
Slayer?
actress, close. I did work with her, but no. I'll think of her name anyway. She was on Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Her. But Pat and I would do all the death voices.
Yeah.
And so you really learn looking at the screen and doing anime, which is, if you've had people on, have you done anime? It's
With the lip
We've
flaps.
had many animators.
Yeah.
It is so tedious
It's
and so
crazy.
unrewarding unless you become some big anime person, because
Exactly.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard, because, good evening. How do you fit in that? What do you do?
You go, good.
See, it helped you with your timing
evening.
for promo. to
I
really,
never forget. I did a movie called Savage Island with Linda Blair that I had to loop, and it was all from these. It was a Reanimator 2, Trolls, Dolls, all these horrible who are they're big cult film, and I'm every male voice in those movies, every monster, every death. And there's one called Savage Island where they hired Linda Blair for $10,000. She came in the beginning of the movie to the guy from Hogan's Heroes, the little short fat guy, and she goes, "You killed my father." I killed your father? She goes, "Yes." And then they cut to this horrible movie made in Yugoslavia or something, and at the very end of the movie, she goes, "Now I'm going to kill you. Don't kill me." Bang! Right? So I had to be every male voice in this movie, and this guy is going the cornucopia. He had to say cornucopia, so he was doing it phonetically on camera.
Yeah.
Cornucopia. And I had to go, cornucopia. You know, I was like, how do I match this guy? So all those video trainings, all that stuff, that's where then when you're in a promo and you need to do a 30-second promo in 15 seconds and you have to make it sound like it's important, all that training comes through.
Right.
I've never, you know, I'm telling you, the Savage Island one,
and
Linda
in
Blair.
between some of your lines, right, you have SOTs.
Right.
So you have to take a little break, allow, boom, come right back in, right on.
But it's the toughest part of promo, or in any anime or any of that stuff, is timing that you have to fit that thing in there and make it sound like it counts. And I go, in my real life, I talk, but as you can tell. By the way, Linda Blair, had dinner with her, not from that movie, another time when I was on VH1. Really nice lady, but she really laughs like The Exorcist. She does. And so I'm trying to be suave.
Is that like...
Well, I'm wearing this really nice
Did she turn her head around all the way?
Well, that was an evening. Don't knock that. She was really sweet, but we were sitting in this restaurant, and you know, this is a long time ago, so I'm sure she does, and this is not knocking her off.
The statute of limitations is passed.
So we're like, you know, I'm trying to be real romantic, like, hey, you know, I'm thinking trying to impress this woman. So I do some joke, and you know, people are sitting there, and she goes, and I'm like, you know,
and her head went.
The nicest lady.
And the romance died.
No, there was no romance. No, it was a business dinner, but
You're
I was
like, Chuck, please.
But you know, I'm a guy, and I was young, and I'm sitting there going,
right.
So, which probably wasn't good when I'm going, because women don't like that.
It's good for the memoirs. And no, they don't.
No,
Well, that was part 1 with Roger Rose. Join us next week for part 2.
Roger is so awesome, right?
Beyond.
So cool. We had so much fun, and we hope you did too. Keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we'll see you next week, you guys. And just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.
Come on, come on, come on and get buzzed with us.
VO Buzz Weekly is sponsored by Chuck Duran's Demos That Rock. The voiceover demo producer to the stars is now available to you. Visit demosthatrock.com and take your voiceover career to the next level.
See you next time, and remember, you always have time for a little buzz.